Hey everyone, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, and I want to welcome you to episode 83 of Limb Lengthening Live, where the patients get to interview the guests. And today we are doing another open mic. We have some actual guests that joined us. They got the word, and we have Real back from Canada, and we have Phaedrus, who was here a few weeks ago before his lengthening surgery, which he had just about 36 hours ago. So welcome to the show, guys. How are you guys doing?
Oh, well, I'm great. I can't believe Phaedrus is on here. I had no energy 36 hours later after my surgery to be on.
I know.
He's one tough one, dude.
Yeah, let's actually start with that. So, Phaedrus, man, let's start. I mean, you just had your limb lengthening surgery. You were here a few weeks ago. You were getting, anxious for it and everything like that. And then you made the travel. So let's walk us through it. Like, go down a few days ago of like when you arrived and then kind of like where you are now. And then I know you said you had some content, so you can either email it to me or I might be able to let you share it on here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I think I can probably share if you don't.
Okay, if you put it on
mind.
another screen, on your other screen.
Yeah. I don't know if can you see this?
Yeah,
Real
I'm gonna
Victor?
press show on stream. Hold on, just a sec.
Sure.
There it is. Okay, guys. So is this the Discord?
Yeah, this is the Discord, and I'm not going to show everything, but I figured it's just like a baseline to share kind of.
That's perfect.
What I was
and
thinking and stuff
if
like
you guys
that.
want to check out this and follow along with Phaedrus' story, you can actually go and join the Discord. It's free. There's a link below this video. Just click it and sign up. You're good to go.
Yeah, I think there might be some explicit words, Victor. Is that okay, or like?
Yeah,
Is that
fine.
You're
Okay. Good.
Good. Just call it out. Yeah, so I flew into Germany about a week before,
Mm-hmm.
and I flew from the U.S. And one of the first things I did was I went to the rehab center where other patients were rehabbing, and for me it was great because I got to see the facility, the state of other patients, ate some good food, got one last workout in, and about what is this, like an hour before the surgery, I do see that I got my x-rays.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm about 80% tibia femur ratio, so kind of right at that average. And I got the surgery. And amazing.
No, go back. I got the surgery. I'm just kidding. Yeah, take us through that. Like, what was going through your head? I mean, like, that's what I really want to kind of hear. I mean, this is something that was building up, and this is the surgery, the nails implanted. So
yeah, so I remember the night before I couldn't sleep at all. I slept not a minute. My brain wouldn't shut down. It was just, I don't know. I felt like, okay, either I wake up or I don't wake up from the surgery. So I was definitely nervous, excited. I remember before going under for anesthesia, they put the IV in me, and my teeth were chattering. I guess I was just like really nervous, or I don't know. I just felt, I guess, alone in a cold operating room, surrounded by strangers in a country that I've never been to. So it was definitely kind of jarring, but I woke up and I was okay. I was really thirsty and hungry. I didn't feel any pain because of all of the anesthesia I was on. They put me in a room to monitor me for about, I'd say 15 or 20 minutes. And then they moved me to my current room where I'm staying for the next 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
And Victor, please tell me to stop if you want.
No, man, this is what it's all about. The experience. This is what I want to hear.
Yeah, and this I don't know if you can see these photos. I'm not going to play the video. They're basically just kind of my initial state, and I was able to move my legs. I had some decent knee flexion. And what surprised me the most was Dr. Becker came that day. So I had the surgery at about 8 a.m.
Okay.
The surgery lasted 3 hours. I think it normally is anywhere between 1.5 to 4 hours, depending.
Yeah.
I got the 11 millimeter Betzbone.
Okay.
One comment is everyone has a different size marrow canal. and I believe mine was more narrow, so I got the 11. But it good thing is I had thicker walls around my bones, so the screws were, from what Dr. Becker said, the screws were secure. And I did want to show this video. Let's see if it'll play.
Wow.
Can you hear the audio?
Backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is you walking right after the surgery.
Yeah. And at first I was elated. I was so happy. I was like, this is crazy. But that it's kind of a fairy tale because that was, I was in dreamland on a lot of drugs. And so fast forward, that same day, things are okay for the most part. I didn't have much appetite. I went to sleep, woke up, and reality kind of comes and hits you like a ton of bricks. Like your legs are just, you can't move that. I think this is the simplest way to show the difference is playing this.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do this.
Okay, so now it's like forearm crutches.
Yeah, this is me today, this morning.
Okay.
And it's like there's a disconnect between your mind and your legs. It's almost like you have to tell your leg to move, or you have to like command it, and you have this instability from the ITB. I had the IT band release as well. But and it was really tough this morning. I definitely broke down mentally a little bit because I was like, wow, I'm crippled now. If someone kicked me, I'd fall on the ground and I couldn't get up. And but I made a little schedule for myself so that I can walk every few hours, and then every hour do some mobility exercise. And to finish off, I finish off the day with about a little over 2,000 steps, and tomorrow we will try the stairs. So, but that in a nutshell is kind of my experience so far. Pain-wise,
go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't really touch on pain medication and stuff, but they have everything laid out for you, which is great. I kind of I know some folks are maybe more specific about not wanting to take opioids and focusing on NSAIDs, but I'm a very simple guy. I just kind of take what the doctor gives me and hope it works out. And so far, the pain meds are doing what they're supposed to be doing. My pain is lying down maybe 0 to 1. When I'm moving, I'd say it can go from like 3 to 5, depending on if I do slow movements, it's more like a 2 or 3. Any quick movements, I can feel some stuff.
That is incredible, Phaedrus. I gotta say, I mean, so this is literally within the first 2 days you had your surgery. So this is Thursday, so it was Tuesday then.
It was Wednesday morning.
Wednesday. Okay, that's right. Yeah, because you're in European time.
I'm in Freiburg, Germany right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's 12:47 a.m. here right now.
That's incredible, man. And then you're doing your steps every day. You're tracking that. That's kind of like what Real did. Is like he right out of the gate. This guy was like up and about. And I actually wanted to kind of touch on this because it brings up a good point about after femur lengthening. It's like the importance of mobility. It's like a lot of people, your legs are broken, right? Like it's the reality shift of like you going from being normal to being, like you said, crippled. But the fact is that it's important to get mobile as soon as possible. Like Real, if you want to talk about that, like your experience, like right after surgery, what was it like for you? And then we're going to compare that to Phaedrus and like make that point, to everybody watching.
Yeah. So from right out of surgery, like when I left the hospital, I used I was walking. There's no wheelchair like coming out of the hospital. That was after a day and a half, 2 days. I was over there. So I went straight home. After 2 days, I was home. So I used the walker to come out of the building to the car. I went home, and the next day I was on crutches. The walker been in my garage, but
wow.
Never stopped walking. Never, ever, ever, never.
Never.
One
From
day.
day, like literally from one day. Like and Real, like I mean, I know that Phaedrus said that, like, you know, he was still kind of on that pain meds from the surgery, the anesthesia and everything, till the nerve block wore off. But what was the pain like for you in those first few days? Did you feel it?
So the initial pain from what I feel today, so it would be the actual surgery, like, you know, breaking the bone and all these incisions and all that. So, but once I got home, like I say, it's like every 12 hours, it drops to 50%, 50%, 50%. It drops really quick.
Yeah.
And then to a point where it's like I swear I could have like walked, like people were like telling me, like, slow down, Real, like you got broken legs. I'm like, it doesn't feel like it. So I was like, let's
Really?
go. But as I got, like, now today, I'm over the 2-inch mark. I always have a little, like, I would say there's always a small pain, like a growing pain. I call them growing pain.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm always feeling it, right? Like I would say I feel like if I have to put a scale on it, like during my whole day and my night, I probably like at a 1. Sometimes it drops to 0.5, 1 to 2, 1 to 2. You know, like I'm always there. But I walk and I walk. Like today, no joke. Today I jetted, like I run a sewage company. Like I clean out sewage pipes.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 6 buildings this morning. Then I walked a building, 29-floor building. I scored all the top floors of these buildings. I walked every unit. I'm on crutches. I don't know how many steps I do in a day, and I drove a big truck today. Like I was on my truck, like it's a 10-wheeler. I drove that through traffic, through whatever, it takes about a 2-hour drive, and I drive it site to site. I mean, it's, I don't stop, and I keep my mobility, my legs. So I know right now, if I wanted, I could stand up and go walk. Like I know I could walk right now. Keep the crutches there, and I could walk away. Like, no.
Well, we definitely don't want anything to happen, but like that's incredible. I think that the fact that you are really kind of grasping the idea of mobility and why it's so important, because it's keeping those muscles really kind of pliable and active, active, so they don't go dormant and you get really weak. And I think that's probably making your physio a little easier as well, right?
Definitely. The physio is like, even when I go in Montreal, they're like, "What do you do? Like, how are you still so flexible?" Right? I said, "Well, I don't stop." And that's the trick. There's one weekend I was like, oh my God, I'm dead tired. I'm not doing anything this weekend. I stayed home. I walked very little, just around the house. By Monday, I was like, holy fuck, I fucked my legs up. Like, they're like, like I really ruined it. I was like all cramped up. It was hard to get going on Monday, really hard. I was like, never again. But I'm worried, like, just if you stay in bed too long and all that, you lose that muscle, like muscle mass, you lose that. Yeah. And then when they tell me, okay, Real, you can walk, I'll be like 6 months trying to build those legs back up. That's not my plan. Like my legs, if you touch my legs right now, obviously they shrunk because they're lengthening, but they're hard as a rock. Like those muscles are hard as a rock. Like they're solid all around.
That's crazy.
Like they touch it, they don't look like it's not knotted. It's like, I think it's just muscle. Yeah. It's like they're still as hard as they were the first day, but I walk on them, right? And they get tortured. Like, I push them. Yeah. And but
so you're maintaining the muscle tone because like you're just using them so much. And obviously, some patients who just, are a little heavier and stuff, they probably won't do that. But like that just shows the benefit of having a nail that can, your body weight, like a nail that can handle your capacity, your body weight. And that's what Phaedrus, like he has a full weight bearing nail. And actually I have a video, I shot a video yesterday or the day before on nails. And go ahead, Real.
Yeah, that's so sweet. I saw those nails. I was like, oh my God.
I know.
Give me those handsprings. It's like, give me those nails. Right. Yeah, I love those nails for that. I was like, oh my God, when I saw that, oh shit, give me those, right? But yeah, it's moving. It's probably the most important part of this. And like physio, I always said, if you watch my videos, I walked my physio, broken leg, like I had broken nail. I was still walking to my physio. And I said, that's half your physio. Get your ass out of bed and go to your physio. Like, get moving. Like,
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't use this as an excuse to take time off, like I don't have the liberty to take time off. My company would close. So I was like, look, that's another part that pushes me a lot. Right. So, but it's so, as much heart as you have, those nails can take it. You gotta have
Sure.
heart. That's it. You gotta go in crazy. It's like you have to set that mind and make them work.
Right. No, definitely. And Phaedrus, now that you're up and about, you just heard Real on a non-weight bearing nail, but you have a full weight bearing now. So you have some expectations to live up to, apparently. So
I
based
was,
on
I
Real,
was,
what
I was
Real
taking
just said,
notes.
what's that?
No, sorry, I interrupted. I was just saying I was taking notes.
You were taking notes. Yeah, man. It's look, I think that, with full weight bearing nails, and hopefully, a lot of patients are waiting for the next magnetic full weight bearing nail, but like we have all these weight bearing nails out there. And I think that it just shows the importance for, at least for bilateral stature lengthening. It's so important to get up and moving. Like Real said, it just keeps that muscle tone there. It prevents any type of internal issues, like we talked about, pulmonary embolism. That's at an all-time low. Real would never have probably a risk of that, because if he's just moving so much, the blood flow is crazy. But you see that, and also it's just important for bone healing too, because there's blood flow carrying all those nutrients to the bones. But yeah, man, I'm so happy that you got your surgery done, Phaedrus, because I know we talked for a couple months, and it's here. So what does it feel like right now that you're on the other side? Like, I know you said that you feel crippled and somebody could take you down or something like that, but what does it feel like this is something you were after for so long and now you're about to achieve it?
Yeah, I just want to echo what Real pointed out, was like moving is so important. Like whether you're moving your legs in bed, whether you're walking,
Yes.
when you're in bed stagnant, the fluid, the edema can build up and it swells. But when you walk, when you stretch, all of that muscle, the lymphatic, all of it moves and you feel just good. Like I remember I was like walking, and the more I walked, the better I felt. But then they told me, like, there's a limit, try not to go over X steps every session. So I think there's definitely in the beginning kind of that balance of move, but also listen to your body and still push yourself. It's hard because it's like when you're lying down and comfortable, the pain is 0.
Yeah.
But then when you stretch, the pain goes to like 2 or 3. You're like, oh fuck, like I gotta do this. Like, all right, I gotta get ready, and then you have to say, all right, left leg move, right leg move, and then it slowly like listens to you. It's so strange. It's so weird. It's like this weirdest thing. But going back to your question, Victor, I think it's like the beginning of a long journey, and I see kind of the height I want to gain, but I also see that it's not going to be easy. Like there's a lot of unknowns. Like I don't know if clicking is going to be okay for me. Hopefully it's not too painful. Also just kind of managing logistics. Like I'm in Germany right now. I need to get back to the States. So yeah, making sure I'm taking my heparin, my Xarelto, my blood thinners, because I don't want to get screwed up by a blood clot or something.
Right.
So I'm trying to just keep a level head and listen to the team, and just kind of see how my body feels as these weeks go on. Right now I have a month booked here. If I feel good, I'll leave earlier. If I feel bad, I'll stay longer. And just taking it day by day. I think awesome. Folks like Real, who's already 2 inches in, so I mean, he's already 2/3 of the way there. I'm at, my initial gap was 0.7 centimeters, so 70 millimeters. So about, what is that, 10-ish% of the goal. So I'm very happy that the initial gap was there. But overall, that's where I'm at, just day by day.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy to hear that. Like, literally, it's something that somebody was achieving for so long, and it's here. But like you said, we wish you a very safe and successful lengthening journey. And I'm sure you'll be able to join us for open mics. And we have a big stature lengthening roundtable coming up in a few weeks as well. So very cool. All right, guys. So we are going to go into the chat and answer some questions. I'm going to scroll back here and let's see what we got. JM, is this happening or not? Oh, the show. Oh, this was the I was a little late. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. TR God, RealDeal looks like he did every job possible. He did every. I don't know what that means, but anyway.
Yeah, we've done many jobs. Believe me.
Oh yeah. For your work. Yeah. JM, for Phaedrus, how hard is the clicking? How long are you staying in Germany? Is everything included, like the stay, the PT, the food, the housing?
Yeah. So I had one accidental click last night when I was sleeping. I tried to sleep on my side, and my left leg had an inward click. but I didn't think much of it. In the morning,
Yeah.
when I put on my left shoe, my hip turned and I had the outward click. So it's like I had one click and it didn't feel any pain. So I'm hoping that it stays the case. Dr. Becker said during the surgery, he will test the clicking while you're under anesthesia. And for me, he said that the clicking seemed quite smooth. So I anticipate it'll be okay. How long am I staying? Depends. Right now I have 1 month, but I'll shorten or lengthen depending on how I feel. The first 2 weeks, everything's included. The stay, the team, food, you get 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And housing is 5 days inpatient at the facility, and then 10 days at the hotel, the Dorrant, and then afterwards you can extend for about €214 a day. And yeah,
That's awesome. Very cool. Okay. Well, you got it all set there for at least a couple weeks, and you'll see how you feel, and make the transition back home if you feel good, and then stay a little longer if not. All right. His next question: is this how Stride was walking around without crutches? You had to use forearm crutches because of the swelling. Yeah, no, this is pretty much the same thing. I've seen Stride nail patients from way back. They were using forearm crutches. Some felt with underarm crutches. And literally, they were using crutches just because of stability, because the nail technically can handle for weight bearing, but the surgeon would recommend you use crutches to use caution so you don't trip and fall, because you don't want to do that. So, but yeah, the nail can handle it. So technically, Phaedrus could walk to get a glass of water if he wanted to, but don't do that, Phaedrus. All right, let's see.
I would not.
All right, how were you able to walk without crutches the first day after surgery?
The magic of painkillers. I don't know. I think it was. I mean, I was under the impression that, wow, like this is like Dr. Becker said, this happens in about 10% of his patients, where after surgery, they're under the effects of the general anesthesia and the local anesthesia. I had local anesthesia because Dr. Becker looked at my quads and he said, "You got some big quads, so Phaedrus, so you'll need 2 rows of the IT band release." So I had my IT band released. He used local anesthesia, I guess, to help with the pain. So yeah, that's why I think my body just was not aware of the pain and the hurt. It wasn't the trauma yet. And it just thought, okay, let's just do what we've done every day of my life and just walk and do what I do every day. And then the body finally realizes, and it's like, wait, there's a nail in here. Wait, the bone's broken. What's going on? Yeah, that's probably why.
Right. It's like, where are those crutches? All right, let's see here. Jonas, what is up? Okay, so this one's for Real. Real, did you do an X-ray to see if the rods are not bending, doing all this? Oh, I guess he's wondering. Yeah, did you get your recent X-rays, Real?
I didn't get the other one. I've been at work every day.
Oh, no.
I still have the slip in my wallet. No, my rods are perfectly straight still. Like, yeah, I mean, I like from what I learned, my experience is it's really on the actual like rotation. That's very, very sensitive, this nail. It's and walking, well, you gotta be smart. Like I'm not gonna use it as a pry bar, like you leverage. So it's no, they're strong. I mean, it's up to now. I'm over 2 inch, so
Wow.
they're nice and straight still. I don't think I could sell them. I don't think anybody's gonna want them once I'm done. They'll give us a wear and tear, that's for sure. But yeah, they're still good. They're still good. Yeah, because I even talked to Dr. Maria. I was anticipating of when I do my tibias. I asked Dr. Maria. I said maybe I could get another inch out of my femurs, right? Like pull a nail back, break the bone, and get me another inch out of it. But I think like how I feel right now at my height. Once I get my 8-foot mark, I'll be just over 8. Or not 8 feet, but 5 feet 8 inches. I always make that mistake. 5 feet 8 inches. I'll get my 2.5 out of my tibias, and man, I'll be more than happy. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like I'd probably stay here at my height, but I feel like my tibias need the length to kind of compensate my legs. It's like I thought I had short femurs, but now they're freaking long. Like I mean, they're getting long. You know, you can tell, like especially when you sit down, right? You see that long feet tibia. So if I get my 2.5 inch on the tibias, I'll be fine. It's gonna be a perfect match, and so I'm gonna do it for sure. For mostly for because for proportion. Because you know I've heard a few people talk, and you know they reached a 5'5" or 5'5.5", the height that I was, and they some people don't feel that accomplishment of being that tall yet. But as soon as you hit the 5'7", for me, it's like. No, you're just like, it's like, shit, man, that guy was just as tall as me before. Really? I thought he was like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's 5'7" is like the key. Like, I think 5'8" is like, because if I was 5'8", let's say my entire life, I would never have done the surgery. Not,
wow.
You know,
okay.
Like, I would have stayed there. That'd be not a problem. But just, you know, I was like down to like 5'4" and 5'8", so I needed it, right? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to ask Phaedrus how long, because that nail can take a lot more than mine. Like lengthwise, I was wondering how long he's going to extend it to, like what he's pushing for.
Yeah, it's a good question, Real. I think, you know, initially I wanted more. You know, I thought weight bearing, I can go 9, 10. But I think looking at the simulation, actually, maybe I can just, I actually don't mind sharing this.
Okay.
Maybe this will.
Let me bring it on screen when you put it up.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I have some tattoos like Real. I mean, everyone knows you now.
Yeah, Real has tattoos.
You know, yeah, Real is tatted. I mean, I have a few, but not that many. Yeah, can you see this?
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
So on the far right, you can see where I am today, and I'm at 171.5, and this is afternoon height. Mm-hmm. When I look at this on the far left, +6 femur looks honestly to me more natural than my current proportions. 8 I think looks good. 10 you can kind of see it's a little bit long, you know, and kind of how Real was saying, I feel like if I went this long, I'd want to balance it out with like a longer tibia. But I don't know if I'm as tough as some other people, man, because the tibia is no joke, and it's always a balance between, I guess, functionality, risk, and aesthetics. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go for 8 first and see how it looks, because I mean, Real, you're at 2 and you said it looks a little long, so maybe I'll feel the same way, get to 6 and see. I've heard a lot of different opinions, but you know, the papers say don't go more than 20% of the initial bone length. So I'm going to listen to my body, and you know, like you say, Victor, just kind of lengthen and observe. So
absolutely, man, that's the best piece of advice I can give to you guys. And look, I've just talked to another stature lengthening patient who did his 8 centimeters last year, and he's big on proportions. That's the reason why he got it done. He was actually 5'10" when he got it done, and then he's 6'1" now, but he got it done to balance out his short leg length to his long torso length. And so I actually shot a video. You'll see it come out, and he says that it actually played a role in you know, his attractiveness in terms of like dating and stuff. So it's pretty interesting to see that proportions are starting to matter more and more. For at least the bilateral, you know, lengthening for stature, I think over certain amounts. And it does matter what your starting interlimb ratio is. Like Phaedrus, you said yours was about 0.8. But I think like 6 centimeters for the femurs is like just that threshold for most people who are like average, before it starts to kind of like say, okay, I could probably get up to 7 or 8 maybe, and that's it. But, you know, 6, you would probably, like you said, you'll be fine there. But no, definitely, man, proportions do matter. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I want to add just one more thing, which was I just kind of I asked people in my network kind of like I basically made a mock-up, and I said which looks best, without revealing any, like, that it's me. And I found that most people said +8 or +10 actually looked good. So it's really strange to me that.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
A lot of my friends are like, your femurs look really, or like the femurs in this one look really short, or in the incel world, we'll call it manlet. isk. So, yeah, sorry to throw that one. But
I mean, pull back up the pictures real quick. Like, let me just see something because I'll use my body on the eye to kind of explain some things because it does. Let's talk about proportions because actually there was somebody who emailed me after the last live. He wanted to talk about proportions, so we'll just spend some time on that real quick because I think it's kind of important. Let me see if I can make this full screen, or can you scroll it in a little bit? Does it go any bigger on your screen, or do I have to do that?
Yeah, let me see if I can do this. What I can do is make it. I have an idea.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here. What I'll do is bring this in. Sorry. What I'm going to do is for my whole screen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you do that, and then
you can not have it be tiny.
Okay. Gotcha. That's pretty good. And it should scroll. There we go. That's better, I think. Yeah, so you're on the far right. So obviously if you look at it, now the mock-ups are probably going to change because of the shift. It's not perfect. Your legs would be thinner looking. So that 8 centimeters on the second from the left is actually going to look more narrow at the top, like your legs, because of muscle mass, the atrophy that's going to take place. So until the legs, build back out, you could technically build them out more, and muscle mass will naturally make your legs give it the illusion of looking, not as lanky or slim, if you will. So muscle mass can kind of be that X factor in the proportion game, but there is a certain amount that, like, obviously you're wearing trunks. Like if you were naked, then obviously it would like have your whole, all the way up to the hip. And that's what the guy was talking about that I talked to. So I think 10 centimeters, the reason why people are saying that is because they're clothed, right? Like if you have clothes all the way down to your knee, like normal 9-inch short or 10-inch inseam short, nobody's gonna ever notice. You'll notice, like what Real said, is when you sit down and you say, oh, my femurs are really long, but my tibias are short, but nobody else really will notice. But when you're standing up in very short trunks or briefs or naked, then that's obviously when it's going to be very evident. So I think that if you look at the 6, it's like just at that point where it's like it almost falls within the natural range, whereas it's like that person just has naturally longer femurs, which again, it could, really trained eyes could see that that's a little off, but you could build more muscle mass out to kind of balance it out. But once you go to 8 to 10, I think that I could pick it up from a mile away with my eyes. Would the average Joe pick it up? Probably not. So you'd probably be safe there. But I think between that 6 to 8 that's why people can go for that. Over 8, you probably want to think about definitely getting the tibias done, if proportions matter to you. Now, if it's only about height, more power to you. But for most people, proportions do factor into this procedure of wanting to have the aesthetic appearance after it. So that was really good. Thanks for sharing that, Phaedrus. That was really helpful.
I feel like really, I was looking at your pictures, and I feel right now, if I was to like judge it, I'm at your picture of your 8. That's how I feel. Like,
what's that? Oh, 8, is that how you feel, Real? The 8? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I see. Yeah.
Because my legs got skinnier too, right?
Okay. See.
So that's the thing. If the legs were skinnier, I'd go with the 6. But because looking at the pictures, and you still has a lot of muscle mass. So So
right. Because like in the picture it's just stretched out, but like in reality, those legs are going to shrink down because you're not using them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even if you use them, you're not building that muscle mass, and like
exactly
for 50 years you work out your legs, and then you pull them apart like a bologna. So they're like the inside. I never had like concave legs on the inside. Like the leg would be like this. Now I have like a hollow spot. I'm like, what is this for? It's like a funnel. Like it's like
He has the thigh gap. The babes on the beach are like, the thigh gap.
I can't wait to get these legs back, man.
I bet. Yeah. No, that's incredible. And look, even for tibial lengthening, it's like whenever you're sidelined for limb lengthening, your legs are going to atrophy, more so than not for the leg that's gotten done. But when you rebuild, though, Real, just see how far they go. Because if you can build them up really, really nice, you might, hey, look, they don't look that bad. So give it some time, because you're going to build that quick. We know you're Wolverine. But but yeah, I think that tibias probably, 8 centimeters, it does kind of like bring up that question of like, do you want to get tibias done? So,
yeah, that's cool. True. That's true.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Time lapse. He's saying, Real, stand up and let's see your new legs.
I got millions of videos of these legs.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Oh, another good question for Real. Real, if you had the full weight bearing nail, what would you have done differently?
Well, actually, we had a guy just last week on there with full weight bearing nail, and I don't think there's not more I could do. I'm doing the same thing that a guy with full weight bearing nail are doing. I'm in the shower. I have one crutch in my shower just to like hold my balance and turn me around. So, I'll grab 2 hands to it to just, waddle a little bit. No, it's there's not more I would do. I wouldn't have had to have a surgery, my second surgery. That's probably the other thing. But and I don't know, maybe because the Betz nail, they push a little bit longer. So I don't know if I would go just a little bit longer. I don't know. But definitely, I don't think I could do much more than what I'm doing right now, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. That's a good answer. Phaedrus, were you flexible before this surgery?
Yeah, I was pretty focused on increasing my flexibility before. So like benchmark, palms on the ground. There's a stretch called the pancake where you're kind of doing like a split, but not all the way, and you lean forward with your back straight. I think I'd probably categorize myself as like average to a slightly above average flexibility, but I'm not a gymnast. Like I did start walking a year before, about 10,000 steps a day. I think so far that's helped me slim my legs down a lot, so that clicking hopefully won't be as painful. I think walking more, jump roping, playing basketball, cycling, and just having a mat in my room and stretching every morning.
That's
what I did.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking, and you told me like you did like a really serious routine preparing for the surgery, and I think it's going to help you. It's going to pay off.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This question from James Cameron. Isn't that like a director for film or something? James Cameron. Question for Real. Did Dr. Marie clear you to walk that much? The biggest precise nail weight bears up to 75 pounds, not more, and other doctors don't allow walking on precise until after consolidation.
Yeah. See, the Dr. Marie's exact word was, if I had to keep you in bed, Real, after this operation, I would not do it. She would never operate on anybody if they were not allowed to walk after this. And it's like, she cleared it at 85 pounds. That's not a problem. And the big thing I've been talking, it's like I'm always thinking about stuff. The weight of the bearing nail. So you weigh 185 pounds. That's from your feet to the top of your head. The nail, when you're standing, I'm not talking walking, bouncing, and stuff. But if you're standing, the load point of this nail is almost at your hip. Like, it's just, so I don't weigh 185 pounds from my hips to my head. I weigh 105 pounds from my feet to the top of my head. So at the top, like the pressure of the nail here at the top, there's not 170 pounds. There's not 180 pounds. It's not even close to it. It's just the top portion of my body when I'm standing. I understand, if you're trying to walk up the stairs, kinetic energy, that's different. Or, walking, striding. Why do you think it's so much harder to go up the stairs than walking straight on the floor? It's energy. It's like you got to put more weight on that leg to go up. So, and my big thing, because I've never seen anybody, let's just say as extreme on these nails. And I asked, my question was, so what can I do? How much walking? Because he told me you have to walk right after. I said, all right, how many steps I need to do? They're like 2,000. Like 2,000. I'm not gonna do that around the kitchen table. I said, I'm good for it. So yeah, they cleared me to walk. Man, I was walking with a broken, I was broken. I was still walking for 2 weeks. I never stopped. And it's like, I can send you videos tomorrow. You'll see my showers. There's one crutch in there. My washroom still has the same toilet and the same one bar. Yeah, you can walk, man. People get scared from the doctors scare them to hell. And because, don't forget, if you're in the States, doctors, you can sue their ass. Over here, you can't sue nobody. So, you break a leg, it's your problem. Get it fixed. Shut up. So it's so that's the big difference, right? So it's that's how it is out here, man. And no, Dr. Like I said, even the other day, Dr. Marie is like, you know, she knows I walk. Like she knows. I don't hide it. I walk to her clinic. You know, like, I walk in there. I don't float in the chair. So and that's it's not an issue at all.
He's getting away with it. That's awesome, man. No, like, look, guys, he's right. It's like, I think that what they say, what the medical terminology is for this weight bearing stuff is weight bearing as tolerable. And obviously these nails do have a capacity, but obviously, you know, she knows what he's been doing. And if she was fearful that something would go wrong, she would definitely bring that up. She's a good surgeon. So, okay. Next question here. Let me see. Where did I leave off? James Cameron, scroll. Okay, here it is. This one's for Phaedrus. Phaedrus, how much weight can the Betzbone hold per nail, I guess?
I think it's, don't quote me on this, but it's cobalt chrome, and I think it can hold like it depends on the diameter. So
yeah,
there's a paper where, so I don't know the exact number, but there's a paper that basically compares precise bets and a few other nails on how much force it takes to bend it. And Betzbone finishes on top every time because it's made of cobalt chrome. Yeah. It's made of a different material. It's not titanium. It's not steel. I mean, I'm not a metal expert, but the cobalt chrome apparently is just extremely durable. It's strong, and I'll be walking on stairs tomorrow. And like Rial said, it's, you know, way harder, more force. But one thing we keep telling the patients is to trust the nail, like trust your leg, trust that it will hold you, and you know, like command your leg to move. And it really is that commanding your leg. It's so strange. But weight, I would say at least multiple times the any average human. So
yeah, no, it's so I did like the video that's going to be coming out soon. It's comparing the Precise to the Fitbone to the Betzbone to the G-nail, and what I found, it's definitely cobalt chrome, the Betzbone 2.0. The 1.0 was like surgical stainless steel, but it is I think it's like 150 pounds plus, depending on the diameter of the nail, per nail. So you're looking at like 300 pounds total standing, but like walking. So, and that's like, I think for the lowest nail, the small, the medium, the large, and the extra large, I think it goes up to 13 millimeters, or I'm sorry, is it 13 or 14? I can't remember. It's 11, 12, 13, 14. I think it is. Betts on the interview with me way back. But yeah, no, it's a really strong nail. Definitely is. And you'll see which one I compare the Precise versus the Fitbone, kind of because of the distraction mechanism, and then the weight bearing nails, I compare them. And then there's a final battle, and then I leave it up to you guys. So, all right. Yoshi, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am good. How are you? Yeah, so I have a couple of questions to you guys. So basically, I'm relatively young to most people you encounter here, at least. So, and I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm at college right now, right? And I don't know if you saw the TikTok trends where people get, you know, the limb lengthening surgery cosmetically. And, you know, I don't know if you know the perception of it, but most people tend to think that it kind of cripples you in a way in the long term. And for me, I'm an athlete, right? I would really appreciate having my athletic ability, even for the long term, because I compete essentially. And I was so basically, I'm wondering what is like how valid are these responses and talks.
Look, there are a lot of people in the public eye. I call them, like, the general public. They don't know a whole lot about this procedure. Most of them don't know anybody who's gone through the procedure. They know nothing about the recovery of the procedure. In fact, that's why I bring patients on like Rial and Phaedrus and all the other interviews that I've had the past 3 years, because I'm really bringing on real patients and surgeons, right? That's why I started this whole cyborg for life thing. But there is a crazy amount I was worried about it before I was getting it done, right? There's not a lot of information out there. So it's all speculation from their point of view. They don't know any better. They're going to say, you're breaking your legs and you're lengthening them. That's going to have some sort of serious consequence. Like anybody would think that, right? Until you actually talk to the patients who've done it. And then you start to see that you can make a he disappeared. You make a fantastic recovery. And basically, I think that, yes, there's a potential that you will lose some athletic performance at the top end. Like maybe it's 3, 5, maybe 8%, depending on how much length you do and how much, if you had a complication or whatnot, but you'll still be able to do what you do. I don't know what your sport you play and what you compete in, but that's a different, conversation entirely. Like we should talk about that, but like, you don't want to get this surgery done if you're like a professional athlete. Let me bring him back on. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It cut
No,
off.
that's fine.
Yeah.
So all of those comments you've been seeing on the viral TikTok videos, which I have a feeling I know who you're talking about, which surgeon's doing this. But the people who are and I think that it's kind of why I have the battle that I have on my hands with I'm trying to bring awareness to this surgery. I'm not necessarily promoting. I'm just kind of bringing, like I said, awareness, where there's a lot of people who are marketing it heavily, like, hey, we want more business for this. And I think that that's drawing in the crowds because it's like they're putting it off like, hey, look, come through this drive-through and get taller. It's not that simple. This is for somebody who really wants to get taller. They will find it if they want it. And that's why I have this resource here. There's other good resources online, but like, I think the marketing aspect is a little bit harsh, and it's kind of making the stigma around this procedure a little bit harder to kind of, dispel. So I think that the comments you've been seeing are really speculative. They're not as well-founded as like a lot of the things you'll find on this channel, the literature from the other surgeons that I've talked to. There's Peter Thaler, Dr. Peter Thaler from Germany. We're going to be doing some research in the next year on recovery, and we're going to be seeing a lot of patients recover. He's from limb lengthening. So there's a lot of data that we're going to be collecting on the recovery aspect of it. But what sport do you play?
I play basketball, and I would like. So I'm not necessarily that short. So it's not necessarily cosmetic. If I would do it, but it's. So basically, I'm like 5'11", right? 5'11 and a half ish, and basically, I always thought the idea of having like extra 3 inches would be very like good. I would be a very good point guard,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you both heard of Live Life Taller, the Turk, yeah. So basically, they've been
Real, I'm watching your face. You're just cracking me up, Real. I'm sorry, he's the only other guy to look at, but go ahead. I'm sorry, Yoshi.
No, you're good. So Live Life Taller, right? And I actually remember you, Victor, saying on your videos that it's actually too dangerous to add so much height to the, for the procedure. And I see them adding like ridiculous, amount of height, like people going from 5'7" to 6'3". I don't think that's, safe in a sense, right? Am I crazy or?
No, you're not crazy. And like Phaedrus said earlier, Phaedrus, you want to say that point you mentioned earlier about the bone length and the percentage?
Yeah. So if you Google kind of, I don't have this study available, but I like to read research papers on this stuff. And most of the time, the literature says 1 millimeter a day is what is considered safe to prevent nerve injury, to prevent muscle contractures, and also the maximum length reached 20% is generally the recommended amount. If you go above that, you can imagine, this is my interpretation, but like the body has to form new bone, but there's a limit to what the body can do. Like you can't lengthen 10 inches and just suddenly expect everything to work. So I think you're playing with the limits, and I'm not a surgeon. I just kind of read the literature and make an informed decision. I think what another clinic is doing is not indicative of what every clinic is doing. It's just the most marketed clinic. I think that's their edge. But if you look more into it, I think the truth comes when you talk to people like Real, myself, the people who are doing the surgery. Victor's put together this awesome platform where you're just connected to all of that, and you have someone who's done it. I think if you want, I think you should only listen to the people who have achieved what you want to achieve. The people commenting on TikTok, your parents, like all these other people, they're just talking shit, or they're just saying what they want. I mean, excuse my language, but like no one knows, better than you, and I think you do need to focus on the opinion of those who have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Well
and-
said, Phaedrus. Well
yeah,
said.
I really, wonder because okay, so here's my question for you guys, right? So what's the maximum amount of safe? Like what's the danger zone is like?
That's going to differ for every patient. So the surgeon's
Okay.
going to do an X-ray on your bones, and they're going to figure out how long the bone that you want to lengthen is, and then they're going to say, "Hey, look, let's. What's your goal?" They'll ask you, "What's your goal?" And then what I told Phaedrus earlier, his advice is to lengthen and observe. That's what every surgeon should do. Now, some of them will actually try to get you there because they're patient pleasers, but you should never go to a clinic that's a patient pleaser, because if they're just going to jeopardize your health to achieve your goal, and then that's not what we want, because then you will be crippled, and then those people who are commenting are going to be right, and that's not what we want for limb lengthening. We want a very good reputation for the, and the only way we can achieve that is if you're the educated patient going into it and knowing that I should lengthen and listen to my body, like what Phaedrus said and what Real said. These are the real guys who are doing this. So really just come back to this channel. Like, listen, TikTok, it can be good. In fact, I was thinking about making one for Cyborg for Life eventually, but the time's not right yet. It will be, but it's going to be factual information that's going on there. And I would love to see those comments come in, because I would say, hey, look, go take a look at this article, read it for about 2 hours and come back and talk to me. They'll be like, oh, damn. So look, it's a lot of speculation. Don't worry about that. Listen to the real authentic patients who are coming on here. Like, literally, I put a join link and these guys are joining. This is not like incentivized in any manner at all. So
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. So, actually, the reason I'm asking this is I have really major concerns with live life tolerant, and I know I'm name calling here, and I really
Real,
don't
I'll
want
stop.
Yeah, I really don't want
Real,
to.
I'm
but-
telling you.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, no, and I really apologize for that, but so I, I don't think they're really trustworthy, to be honest. I'm trying, like, they seem very vague. I have never seen. So basically, what I'm saying is, who's trustworthy? Like, who are the major surgeons worldwide that are known for this, and there are, if I go to them, I'm in good hands, basically, because most of them feel like a scam to me.
Well, if that's the way it feels, then a lot of times your instinct can be right. But what I'll tell you is that although I'm not going to say names here, but what I'd like to say is that looking at the patients who come on and they're having success with their lengthening process, because like I'll have my dream team of surgeons who I think like I get the surgery done with. That might be different from what Real might get, or what Phaedrus might get, or what HA might get. And like the thing is that every patient can be right, because these surgeons can do a good job for that patient. But you have to really kind of have a good vibe with the surgeon. They have to have a good track record of success. They have to care for your health and not be a patient pleaser. Like I said, that is a big, big factor that you need to weigh when you're considering a surgeon, a clinic to go to, because a lot of them are they're marketing this surgery so that you can hit your goal, saying, hey, look, do you want 4 inches added to your femurs, and you want 3 inches added to your tibias, and you'll look great, like, and you'll walk out of here fine in like 3 months. Does that sound realistic to you?
It does not, no.
So a lot of that instinct's going to come into play, that intuition. So you really got to kind of, like I said, listen to the real patients, read the research, listen to the surgeons who do have good records of success, and you'll start to kind of find out these patterns that start to play out. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I know that I should listen to my body here. I should only lengthen this fast per day. I should do physical therapy like this. I should, if I start to get a Aquinas contracture or a ballerina foot, I should start to kind of slow down or stop lengthening or get more aggressive with my physical. There's a lot of things that you can kind of start to understand that other clinics might just say, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then you end up in trouble. And then you will go to the good clinics to get it fixed anyway. So a lot of times you just got to kind of pay attention, use your intuition, and that'll take care of you. But first of all, I just want to welcome CJ to the panel. Welcome, CJ. Goodbye, Yoshi. Are you there, CJ? Let me see if he's there. It seems like all his bars are there. Can you hear us, CJ? Okay. Well, thanks for joining, but we will continue on here. Yeah, no, thanks so much, Phaedrus, for bringing up that point. That was really, really good about the marketing, because it's a lot of back end stuff, and clinics are. I found out that clinics are. I have ads on my YouTube videos. They'll be running ads on my videos, so I had to go in the back end to block some of them. And it's like, look, it's cute what they're doing, but like it's got to stop. It's getting a little annoying. All right, let's pick up where we left off. Phaedrus, when you are back home, are you okay? Phaedrus, this one's for you. When you come back home, are you going to use the forearm crutches? Are you going to have a caretaker?
Yeah, when I go back, I think I will continue to use the forearm crutches. Again, I just started my journey, right? I got my surgery about 2 days ago. So I don't know. I think every patient's different. I'll listen to my body. I'd love to get off crutches sooner rather than later, but I don't want to be an idiot, fall and hurt myself. Caretaker. No, I chose Betzbone because of weight bearing and faster independence. So I don't have any plans to get a caretaker. I'm very fortunate because I live close to home. And my mom makes great food, so I'll be eating at home a lot.
That's
Mom's
awesome.
cooking,
That's
So,
better.
so no one needs to make food for me. My mom makes food, and I will use the crutches if I need to.
Okay. This one's for Real. Real, do you have any before and after progress photos to show? Now, he did. He has a ton of stuff in the WhatsApp. It's my fault. I didn't know if he would come on today. I should have transferred it over. But we'll have it on for that stature lengthening roundtable, Real. So just keep sending them to me, and I'll group them together in your folder.
Okay.
So I think we're going to have it in like about 2 or 3 weeks. So we're going to have all your content there. So just keep piling it in.
Yeah. We have lots.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff. This one, Juju, can I ask how much you paid? So I think you guys could say that. I don't really care if you want, or we can keep going. Yeah, let's keep going. Here we go. This one's a good one. Jarvite's asking, both Real and Phaedrus, did either of you have to go on a catheter or have a catheter during surgery?
No, not for me. No.
Phaedrus?
Nope, no catheter for me either.
No catheter. Interesting. And your surgery was 3 hours. That's interesting. Yeah, I think mine was about 4 or 5. So yeah, and it's weird. I think some surgeons just feel more comfortable using one sometimes. I just wonder who the CJ person is. You think he's like a scout for Real? Real, you crack me up, man. I can't keep a straight face with you. Michael, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
How are you, man?
Hey, I'm good. I just like by chance saw that you went live, and I thought I might try and join.
Yeah,
But
man.
I'm not sure how long I'll stay because it's already bedtime over here in Germany. So just wanted to stop by and say hi.
That's awesome, brother. Are you a prospective patient, current patient, past patient?
Sorry, what?
Are you a prospective patient? Like, are you thinking about the surgery?
No, I'm a former quad patient. I was on this channel like a few weeks ago, actually.
Oh, Michael. Oh, okay, yeah. See, everybody's named Michael nowadays, so it's like, welcome back, brother. Yeah, it's late over there, isn't it?
Got my earphones.
Your headphone. Okay, he's put on his headphones.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm good. Cool.
How have you been, man? This is late for you.
Yeah, it's really late. Actually, I have to get up in like 4 hours or so, 5 hours. It's all good. I'm basically even better than like, I don't know, 6 or 8 weeks ago when we did the podcast. The only thing I still can't do are advanced physical exercises such as running, jumping. Those are the things I'm still working on. But like my whole day-to-day routine where I walk, I don't know, 10,000 steps a day or so is not a problem at all. I walk like several long distances each day, like mile, 2 miles is not a problem at all. I don't have any pain anymore. And all in all, also on a psychological level, it's been extremely beneficial to my quality of life and to my mental health.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I'm so happy to hear that. Look, I mean, the fact that this Yoshi, I'm mad that he left now, because like you're the ideal person to talk to. You're well into recovery now. You're deep into consolidation. I think you said you finished lengthening in January, was it?
I, I stopped lengthening. I had my last surgery, in July. I stopped lengthening in, I think, October, beginning of October, and I stopped consolidating in January.
Okay,
think,
so you're almost at the 1 year mark.
Yeah, it's only 2 or 3 months to go.
Wow, man. I'll tell you this. I know that at the 10 to 11 month mark is when things get really good. So you're about to hit like a threshold of just amazing feelings. Stick around though. Don't like disappear like every other patient does. Like they start to feel good and they say like, oh, I forgot I had limb lengthening done, and they just forget about, us. We want to hear about your recovery. It's so important nowadays, as you can see, like we have AJ here. It's so important for people like you who are well into recovery to stay around for a little bit. So please stick around for like another 6 months to a year, please, if you could, every now and then.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hard to keep up the discipline to do all the exercises and the physiotherapy, which are kind of required to get back to your former state. But I'm really motivated to get back into running and jogging and stuff. So that will definitely be required for sure. And I think it will take another 3 or 4 months to get back to that level for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, and look, I'll tell you this, is that stretching will be able to stop eventually, but the thing is that you'll want to start your gym. I think you said you might have started to go back to the gym last time doing upper body. But once you start training legs, you're going to start to feel really, really good, especially since you did quadrilateral lengthening with the good biomechanics and proportions. It's just things are going to take off for you. So I just want to study your case going forward. It'll be interesting.
The hardest part, I just want to mention this, the hardest part was the tibia. Definitely, like the results provided by the tibia. Height Journey mentioned this the last time he was, I think, on your channel, is the residual tightness, which you still have in your ankle. That's probably the most toughest issue I said that I countered, and takes the longest to resolve because there are like so many muscles and tendons involved in that area.
You mean in the tibia, the ankle area? That's the same thing I felt too. So I think it takes. That's when, like I said, after the 11-month mark is when I started to feel better in that area. But to be honest with you, I think it was closer to like the 12 or 13th month mark where it's like I didn't really notice it anymore. So a little bit longer to go. Yeah, you're right there. Cool. Well, we have AJ here. We'll try to. AJ, I don't see any bars on your thing, so I'm not sure if I can hear you. If you're there, this is a full house. This is awesome. But we're gonna try to get through some more of these questions because we're already at the hour mark. So we'll do another 10-15 minutes. We'll call it. But let's see here. Any questions for Real, Phaedrus, or now we got Michael here for a few more minutes, so you guys can ask. Let's see. All right. So this one from Jonas. He's asking. I'm the guy who asked about the hip dysplasia. Don't longer legs put more pressure on the hip joint due to the increased mass, therefore further increasing the already present risk for arthritis? I think a surgeon that I had on last year said that it's not necessarily true. There's not a whole lot of data on, the pressure and stuff on the hips and the knees, but that is one area that we want to study about the biomechanical stressors and stuff. So I don't have an actual answer for you, but based on what I've heard and seen with patients' recoveries, the answer is no. But again, hip dysplasia, that's something like you have trouble with the femoral head into the acetabulum. So it's like you're going to have a different issue than most of these other patients who are just like normal. Well, you know what I mean? Like have normal hip joints. So you'll have to ask a surgeon about that to make sure, but let's keep it going. Benjamin Mendoza, he's always here. If the bone starts forming a non-union, do you have to charge money again to re-break the bone? So Real, how does that work with your clinic? Oh man, look at this. We have everybody here today. We have James.
So, I mean, with Dr. Marie, we never talked about that part, to be honest. But I know when I broke the nail, obviously it's an accident, and to be honest, I think probably I was like, I'm gonna say nail was defective a bit there, because what happened there is like it broke, and I was like, I couldn't believe it broke, right? Like right now I'm at 2 inch over, And I had really lost faith in those nails. Like when I broke that one, I was like, oh my God, I'm only an inch. I got one broken. I'll go through a dozen of these nails, I was like, oh, they're a case of these goddamn things because we're in surgery every 3 weeks here. So, but I managed to build my confidence back. That's exactly what Phaedrus said, is that you have to have confidence in the nails, right? I mean, he's got strong nails, obviously, but you have to build that confidence. And it took me a while to build it back up because I was like, I gotta get to my height. I was like, just get me up there. But no, Dr. Marie was awesome for that part. I mean, they put the nail back in, and I mean, it cost me a little bit of money, but it's like pretty much it cost a pizza and a pack of smoke, It was a pretty good deal. She's awesome. That's why, you're talking about surgeons and all that. I would send everybody on earth to Dr. Marie. That's what I would do, because she stands behind her work. I can text her right now, and I bet you she'll answer me, and she could probably take a call from me right now. Wow. Like, she's always there. Doesn't feel like a doctor. It feels like a friend that lengthening my leg. That's how it feels. Awesome. So easy to talk to approach. Like it's unbelievable. Like I walk in there, she'll like throw a couple punch at me, and hey Rael, like it's so cool. It's like. And she encourages you, like she's got, okay, Rael. But she's so cautious. Like, I know people like, oh, Rael, you're doing so much in this and that. Does Dr. Marie know about it? Yeah, she's like, she tells me, Rael, this is, we're going to slow you down now. This is where you're at. Like, she's very, like, she studies my case. Like, she's not just letting me free for all here. Dr. Marie, like I said, money-wise, I don't know how it would work if I'm not but I don't think it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. So,
seems good so far. Michael, now I think you had a little bit of a issue with that, correct?
With what exactly?
Was it like a delayed union, non-union? You had to get a bone graft, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I would call it a delayed union.
Delayed union, yeah.
I think after 5 months in the tibia, in the left tibia, my doctor said, if you want, we can kind of speed this up a little by doing a bone graft surgery, in which a hip crest, like a bone from the iliac crest, is taken from in the surgery, and it's being added. It's being added or grafted to the gap where the bone is missing. Basically, 4 weeks after. You can walk. The surgery itself is very small and very uncomplicated compared to the normal one. So it was a no brainer, because I don't want to get at like too much in my case, because it was a little difficult to explain, but it was definitely worth the surgery if you have a delayed union.
Okay, gotcha. And did you have to, like, was there a little cost there as well? I just want to kind of know for the question.
No, this part was paid for by the insurance.
Oh, by the insurance. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's like this for every limb lengthening case or every cosmetic limb lengthening case in Germany, which is where I live and did the surgery. Mm-hmm. But usually you are required to do an insurance, like a cosmetic insurance for this kinds of cases. And if you have like a little complication, as it was in my case, then they will usually pay for that surgery.
Okay, very cool. Well, that's good. You got it covered in that way. But you were like prepared. Awesome. And I think Phaedrus, you have good insurance. If you come back home and have any delayed unions, you'll be ready as well, right?
I haven't thought too much about that. My fingers are crossed.
He's like, no. That's awesome. All right, let's see, you guys.
I'll just pull a Real and just push through.
Exactly. That's gonna be his shirt. Cyborg for life. Push through.
Like one thing maybe to add, like real non-union cases are quite rare, except if you really exaggerate the lengthening rate or distance. So usually it's a delayed union, and it will catch itself, and it will heal by itself. You just have to give it enough time. But in my case, I just wanted to speed up the whole journey, which is why I did it. But it probably would have healed by itself in the long run.
That's so true. That's so true. Yep, delayed unions are way more common. Right. So, a couple more questions here. We have Phaedrus is what's the maximum distraction of the Betzbone? I know it. I just did a video on it. 12.4 centimeters.
There it is.
That's right, Phaedrus?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, there we go. Good. I'm making sure my research was correct. Okay. Cosmere is saying, hi, Victor, please interview more limb lengthening surgery doctors from India. Yeah, no, I had one way back. Again, things that the surgeons are going to even out eventually soon. So we'll get there. Real, can we see your legs and your tibia to femur ratio? Leave this man alone. He's going to send some pictures of some content.
Yeah. I'll get you guys some good stuff. Don't worry.
Yeah. We know you love them.
All I know is that now when I stand up, I have to move over my kitchen table, right, the dining table over, and my bed to put my stretching bed in the dining room. I get up now and I hit my head on the chandelier. I'm like, motherfucker! I remember installing this. I could never touch it with my head. I had a hard time installing it. Now I'm afraid that hits me in the forehead. I'm like, that. I always tell my wife, like, look, poof. Big joke on the house. I was like,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
because it's 2 inches taller. That's a lot of height. It's a lot.
It is. I'm telling you, like. I grab stuff from the top, like I go close my shower door, I grab it from the top. I'm like, I never reached that in my life before, you know. Like it's. I'm telling you, 2 inches and so on. Like I'm over 2 inch now, and it's huge.
That's
like,
huge, man.
Once I hit 5'8", man, I'll be so happy. Like
I know, I can't wait.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm so happy now. Like it's, but you know, it's once I get my 5'8", I'll be sick.
You'll be on another.
Do you think people will notice?
People notice? Oh, for sure, man. It's like, well, I mean, yeah. Some people notice, and then there's like, because I'm like the group people. I'm in buildings a lot, so I'm always in the elevator. You're so close to each other, right? So it's like it's not like they're far away. So it's like they're like, the fuck, man, is this guy growing? Like, but I mean, a lot of people know. I don't hide it. I don't care. The only people I won't bother telling is because I don't have 4 hours to explain this to you. You know, so I'll tell you I got hit by transport or I got hit by an airplane or something, but don't bother me, you know. But other people, my family, like I was at a funeral a few weeks ago, and you know, it's my entire family. I'm not gonna lie to them, so I was like, "That's what it is. Here's the X-ray." You know, they don't believe me. They're like, "No, wait, no, here's the X-ray." You know, here's the surgery. It's like, you know, so everybody's like, "What?"
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I noticed that like the longer you haven't met the person yet, the more likely it is, obviously, that they won't notice. In my case, nobody has noticed it yet. I did 9 centimeters, and
okay.
I met a few friends that I didn't meet for like 1.5 or 2 years again, like after surgery now, and yeah, it was quite exhilarating before meeting them, but nobody noticed the height difference.
Wow.
But I have to say that I have been like selective with whom I met. So I met particularly with taller people and stuff. And so far, no one has noticed.
For me, I feel bad sometimes. Like you know, I'll be around some people that like, you know, I was the same height as them. And they're like family or whatever, and I'll like lean over on my crutches just because I don't know. I don't want to be taller than them. I'm like, I feel like an asshole. I was like, so I'll hunch down a bit. And like, oh man,
that's probably the craziest thing, the craziest mindfuck for like a person who used to be taller than you. He meets you again, and all of a sudden you're taller, but he has no idea what the hell is going on, and he can't really explain it to himself like logically because he doesn't know about the surgery. So that's where things get kind of dicey because I'm yet to have to meet someone who I'm now taller because I'm only 5'9" now, but still it's quite the difference. And more likely than not, most people will not notice, which is also pretty cool to know. Because I know that a lot of people who do the surgery worry about that. That's
good. That's good that you brought that up, actually, Michael. Like, because I think a lot of people are worried of keeping this like more of a secret thing, and I don't think they have a lot to worry about because like, what's your circle like? It's like if you're going to the club every single day, then maybe people would know. But like, I mean, your close circle, like Real's family, his coworkers, things like that. He already told them about it. And Phaedrus, who have you told?
Just a few close friends.
Okay. See, and that's probably all that's really going to find out. I mean, yeah, you're going to gain height. And if you see somebody from a long time ago. They're like, "Whoa, dude, you grew," and it's like, "Yeah, I don't know, like
Lost
I
weight.
grew." Yeah, lost weight. You can just come up with anything. It's like time just passed. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
ex-girlfriend is a tough one, but
Yeah.
apart from that,
It's like, no. Especially if you connect again, and it's like, what are these scars?
could be awkward.
All right, let's see here, guys. Let's get to some of these questions. JM, you are the MVP for today. Is clicking as precise as the precise? Oh, I guess is clicking with the Betzbone like the? I'm not even sure. How do you keep track of the clicks? Do you have a journal to track your clicks or make sure your clicks are matching up?
Yeah, this is a quick answer. Every click is 0.052 millimeters. So 20 clicks is about 1 millimeter. And yeah, you just keep track of it in a journal, whether it's Google Sheets, paper, whatever you prefer.
Look at that. Phaedrus, we got to let you get out of here. I mean, you just had surgery. I'm so sorry. This has been like an hour because we know how it is. It's like after the surgery, are you okay, man?
I'm alone in Germany. This is great. I don't speak German either. So, guten Tag, like I'll stay here for hours. I don't care. I love this. I'm here.
Hey, Michael's right down the street.
Yeah. He's in Freiburg probably if he did it with Betz, which is a beautiful city.
It's a beautiful city. Oh, okay, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
I wanted to tell Phaedrus earlier the 2 weeks mark, because I know you're there for 2 weeks and then you have to decide. Your 2 weeks mark is probably like right there. It's like I'm ready to go back to work. To be honest, like I remember back, like thinking back, and this surgery. If you have 2 weeks vacation, you can do it. Like I'm not saying you can go back to a mechanic, let's say, because you're standing and trying to wrench wheels and stuff. But an office or something that, like, I work, but I'm not stuck doing something all day long. Like if I'm tired, I can sit down. If I like, I mean, I'm always moving. I'm always working. I run a business. But at the 2 weeks mark is when, if I had 2 weeks break, just do my thing and then go back to work, I was ready. 2 weeks, you're ready to roll. So I know you'll be on the plane back. In 2 weeks, you'll be on the plane, like, get me home, Like,
That's the hope. Thank you, Real.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like that 2 week mark is like when a lot of things just start to feel more natural. I mean, you're getting over the post-surgical pain and inflammation. It's like the body starts to kind of normalize again. So this one's for both of you guys. So if both Real and Phaedrus stop at one segment, would you have issues squatting or getting out of the couch because of your biomechanics?
No, I get up all the time right now. It's like I use my crutches a little bit, but no, I can show you right now. I can get off my chair and no problem. Yeah, I'll be able to squat. No worries.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. There's always a way.
Yeah.
All right, Phaedrus, this one's for you. I actually missed this one. Are you having a hard time communicating in that clinic? I guess because of the language barrier. And then he says, does the PT nurses staff speak English well?
Dr. Becker is fluent in English. Okay. Everyone else is a mix. Some speak mostly German, some speak a little bit of English, but Google Translate is generally, perfect. I can say like, I need 2 ice packs and they'll go get it. Or I want eggs. It's quite, Google Translate handles it for me.
That's awesome, man. These are some really good questions. We have a lot of questions here. Let me just scroll down to the bottom because we're going to try to go for a couple of question or two more. Just scrolling down here. All right, we did the Betzbone question. Any last questions? Oh, here we go. Okay, so here we go. Phaedrus, this is another good one for you. Are you saying that if you have a weight-bearing nail, you don't need a caretaker? If that is the case, I'm waiting for a weight-bearing precise nail. That's what he does. He doesn't want anybody to know. That's what it is.
Oh, man. I think, so there's 6 different patients here I'm with, and every one of them has a different experience. Some have more pain in clicking, some have more pain in just general, and some have no pain. So I don't want to speak for anyone else and say like you do not need a caretaker, but I think having access to people that can help you is really important. Like if something were to happen, you could call someone and they could help, make you food or take you to the hospital. So I think have someone, whether it's a caretaker, loved one, friend, but I think that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, no, I agree. Michael, you had help, I think, right?
I moved back in with my parents, so
Perfect.
I basically had a private nurse.
That's
But
awesome.
I also had Precise, like the non-weight bearing version. So Caretaker definitely is necessary for the first 1-2 weeks, definitely. Yeah, just to get around and just to bring you food, cook for you, and clean up and stuff. Because if you can't weight bear, that will be a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the weight bearing now does make you more independent, much more independent. But like those first 2 weeks, he has like Phaedrus has help at the clinic. So I think that everybody who gets this done, if you're traveling for the surgery, stay on site for at least 2 to 4 weeks, and then you can go back home if the clinic allows, obviously, just because of the fact that that first 2 weeks, you're just not going to feel like yourself. Like Real said, it's like after that, then you can kind of, like you said, figure things out. So, ML, he's back, Real. I heard if you shove down your throat lots of chicken broth and collagen, you're going to grow bone like a teenager. What do you guys think? Collagen's actually really good for bone, but it's not everything. Then you have vitamin C, which helps the collagen. Then you have calcium, vitamin D3, vitamin K. There's a lot of things. We actually have a good nutritionist who'll be a part of the new service. We'll talk more about nutrition. Real, Jimmy's asking, do you know if the nail can go above 8.3 centimeters as you would like to go for the max?
8.2, I was told. 8.2, and that's what we're going to be pushing. I mean, I've been doing that math every day. I will push this thing until I see the treads at both ends of that screw. I'm telling you. It's 8.2, I was told. So.
Okay. They have questions for you, Real. They love you. Let's see. Jimmy's asking also for your tibias. Do you know the number of months to space to get the max length? So I guess, and that's Sam's asking the same question. Is like, have you discussed the timeline of when you'll be able to do the tibia?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like I'm gonna talk to Dr. Marie. I'd love to do tibias like earlier in the year, as opposed like this time I went and did it. Like I was there in January, and now I'm still here because I got delayed. Obviously, I broke one. But and might not building bone as fast as slowed down, but I'd definitely like to be in there before January to get this done. Yeah,
nice.
And it's slow. I think it's gonna be a little bit slower. It's probably gonna not start me as fast because of it's the tibias.
It's a little slower.
Two bones to grow, and so I'm gonna be battling that. But if I want to do it before early before the end of the year.
Okay. Real, this next question here is, did you use a caretaker for the first couple of weeks, or were you fully independent?
I mean, I had people around me. I didn't have a caretaker because I was at work. Like when I came out of the hospital, I was at work. I stopped at my office and went to work that day. And then the next morning I was back to work. I mean, I have my driver and I have my wife at home. So I always had like help here and there. The worst thing with crutches is you can't carry nothing, right? Because it's like it impairs you, like because you're putting the weight on your hands, you're not putting the weight on your armpits. So that was the one thing. Like the forearm crutches, I bought some, but I can't work with them because at least the one with the armpit, if I have to grab stuff, I can hold it with the armpit, and I couldn't even walk with those without my hands. Like I've learned to, because obviously I have to carry stuff once in a while. It's not fun. But then I'll use my armpit to like talk with them. Like I'll show you videos. I can do anything with these things. But so I put the forearm crutches away. I don't like them. They're not. I think as soon as they tell me, I get off of these, I'll probably buy myself, some pimp ass cane or something, and and just pimp it around. That's it. Let's have a couple walking canes. I don't know. That's what it's gonna be for me. I think just a cane and hop away.
I love it. No, I think you've unlocked your crutches ability, because I was that good too. Like you're really good. Like you can do the crutch walk without the hands. Like you're good, man.
I have my espresso in one hand, and I'm like, I spill a few drops here and there. My wife has to wash the floor every morning because I spill coffee. But no, it's I have good videos of it too. I'll get some stuff out.
That's awesome.
No, I never had caretaker, but I always had people around me.
It took me like a couple broken legs. You did it in like 2 weeks. That's amazing, Real. Look at this. James said Real is the Chuck Norris of stature. That's a good one. I love it. He says Real doesn't need the ERC device. He can communicate with the nail itself, and the legs lengthen out of fear. That's awesome. I love it. Phaedrus, you're doing the femur or the tibia, and how much can you? Okay, yep. So Phaedrus, this one's for you.
Yeah, I did femur, and I'm at 0.7 from the initial gap so far.
Okay, and you start lengthening in a couple of days, like in probably next week, right?
Yeah, I think Sunday we start. Sunday or Monday, one of those days.
Gotcha. Nice. All right. This one from, I think you're a discrepancy patient. I remember last week. Are you completely asleep when you do the surgery? Absolutely. Yes, you should be. You definitely want to be. Hearing the periosteum of the femur bone break, it's just like, yeah, that's something you don't want to hear because you'll never forget it. So, James Cameron for Victor. I'm a Rosbrook patient, currently in distraction, interested in participating in your next live open mic anonymously. Yeah, okay, awesome. So that's who you are. Okay, absolutely, James Cameron, which I really think is a name for a movie director. But anyway, last couple questions. Let's see, Mr. Borg. I have a most important question. It's agitating all the limb lengthening circles of Nantucket, and rumors are flying around about it. Is it true that there was a horse in your family tree? Oh, this is Alexis. What's up, Alexis? You goofball. Real looks like Triple H. This is great.
I get that a few times a week.
Last one here. Real doesn't need a caretaker. Other limiting patients hire Real. I can't even do it, Real. They love you, man. Awesome. Wow. Awesome, guys. Well, that was very, very cool. We had a lot of guests on the show. I don't even know all of them. They were coming in and out. But I want to thank Real, Phaedrus, and Michael, Yoshi for coming on and asking his question. And look, I want to thank all of you guys for watching, asking questions in here. If I didn't get to your question, you can send me an email or just post it in the comments below. I'll answer it later. And so next week, what I'm trying to do is I have a lot of content for a complications presentation. I'm not sure if the patients from those complications are going to actually come on themselves anonymously, but if not, I'll present anonymous information, pictures and stuff, and kind of put together like a slideshow to kind of show you guys what's really happening at clinics that are inexperienced out there. And hopefully that will scare you to pick a good clinic, a good surgeon, and do your part and be educated before you go into this process. Cause it's serious. Like if Riyadh knew nothing about this, and he didn't know how to do things, it's like he would be in trouble. And same thing with Phaedrus and Michael and myself. It's like this, you have to know what you're getting into. So you have to pick a good surgeon. Like, there's clinics who are inexperienced. So that's going to be happening next week. Week after, we may do 1 or 2 lives that week. We have a limb length discrepancy live that I have to put together, and then a stature lengthening roundtable. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen simultaneously weeks or back to back. We'll see. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. This is episode 83 of Limb Lengthening Live. I want to thank Real, Phaedrus, Michael, everybody else. And until next time, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life signing out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
All right, you guys.
See ya.